Hello friends, so this is the 11th question related to block diagram reduction. So here is a very small block diagram, but it can be very confusing to start with, because here you can get easily confused about how to approach this whole thing, because in all of the previous questions which we dealt with related to block diagram reduction, there was one takeoff point which was in between the input and the output. See, here it is the input takeoff point, here is the output takeoff point. From this, in between there was at least one takeoff point, so that we could shift it to the left or to the right. Then we can see how the block diagram reductions, other block diagram reduction rules we can apply to simplify this, but here there is nothing like that. So here what we can do is that see, here we have to pick a point to the we have to consider the output of these summing points. Okay, let us consider this point here, okay. What is the output at this point? Okay, the input to block G2. Here it is, input to this block is R, so the output will be R G1. Here also it is R, so it is R G3. Here it is C, the output, it is given in feedback to H1, so here the output of this block is CH1. Here the input or the input to this point of the summer is RG3 minus CH1, because this is in negative feedback, the negative connection is there, negative feedback. The final output of this summer is RG1 plus, because here it is plus, RG3 minus CH1. Okay, RG1 plus RG3 minus CH1, or we can write it as R into G1 plus G3 minus CH1. Okay, so we have to design the block diagram in such a way that this input, this point, it has a value RG1 plus RG3 minus CH1. No matter anyhow you arrange the blocks, you arrange these summing points, interchange their positions, whatever you do, you have to get this point's value, signal value, as this RG1 plus RG3 minus CH1. Okay, now let us see what we can do. This part, RG1 plus G3. So we know that when two blocks are in forward path, okay, like this, let's say R G1 this is plus, and also G3, then the output is RG1 this plus RG3. Okay, here this is RG1, this is RG3. So we have got this portion. Now for this CH1, what we have to do? For CH1, let us say the output is here, this is C, so we take this output and we give it here. So here it is CH1, CH1. Now this is a negative feedback connection, so this will go to a point which is negative feedback minus, and Rg1 plus Rg1 plus Rg3, that is in positive side. So this will go here positive, and the result is this. Okay, so again we miss this block G2, which is there. This is G2, sorry, this is G2. So we arrange the blocks and the summing points in such a way that this input to this block G2 is Rg1 plus Rg3. At this point it is Rg1. Okay, this point has value equal to this. Okay, this. Now we can easily simplify this, because see, this is in forward path connection, so we can redraw this as simply R G1 plus G3, this whole portion. Next we have this is a classic negative feedback connection, where this is G, this is H, so it will be G by 1 plus GH. So we can replace this as so this will become G2 by 1 plus G2H1. Okay, G2 by 1 plus G2H1. This. Okay, now these two blocks are in cascade, so it will be simply R G1 plus G3 into G2 by 1 plus G2H1, this. So C by R, this is C by R, that is G1 G2 plus G2 G3 by 1 plus G2H1. This is the simplified transfer function. So here we used a different approach. Here there was no shifting of takeoff point ahead or behind a block. There was nothing like that, or no splitting of summers or combining summers. We had to draw the block diagram in a new way. Okay, in a new way we had to rearrange or redraw this original block diagram, taking into consideration the signal values, the input to this G2 block. So when the input signal is consistent, it is constant, then no matter anyhow you arrange the block diagram, it will be the same. So we rearranged the block diagram, we redrawn the block diagram so that we could easily apply the block diagram reduction rules. So this is the transfer function.